What is up, boys? We're back after an absolutely tremendous game last night. I stayed up for it. I know Cole stayed up for it. It's officially Jalen Hurts season. I've been hating on the motherfucker for 2 years. He pulled his dick out and just fucked everybody.
I have been telling people for 2 years now that Jalen Hurts is him. And what did he show last night? He is him, bro.
Yeah, by far Jalen Hurts' best game of his career. I mean, he was nearly perfect. Nearly perfect. Like
the best quarterback this week. PFF had him as the number 1 ranked quarterback this week. And I don't really like PFF, so I'm not going to take that too much. But he's overall, outside of maybe Lamar and Tua, but Tua had a really bad first half. I don't think that anybody played better than Jalen Hurts did this weekend.
Yeah, and it was like all facets of the game. Now, I get they didn't score too much in the second half. Whatever. The game was over at that point.
Yeah.
But the way he just marched down the field with ease, and just not only that, the deep ball was there. The intermediate routes were there. The short routes were there. Everything was there. He wasn't making any dumb decisions. Yeah, he had the interception. That wasn't his fault at all. That was all Gainwell.
I will say that was the only questionable throw. He threw it a little early. He threw it a little high. But literally, just the way he played, you can overlook something like that. If you make one partial mistake, and Gainwell should have caught it throughout the entire game, and you're up 24-7 against – let's not sit here and joke ourselves. The Vikings are a good team.
Yeah.
He went in against a good football team. One of the only things people knocked him for was he can't beat good teams and he can't throw a deep ball. And both of those were on display last night, and everything else in his skill set was also on display. He dominated that game.
Yeah. And what's up, everybody in the TikTok? We're live on the YouTube, Cahtah Media. Come on by if you want. But it was just all facets of the game, defense, offense, and even special teams besides the block kick, which was just uncharacteristic. I don't know if he just kicked it too late or Patrick Peterson's just him.
It is what it is.
But let's go in and let's look at some of the highlights here. There was first drive, little 3-run, 3-yard touchdown run, 3 or 4 yards from Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to show that one. That's easy. This throw here that he made
for the Eagles,
one of the best of his career.
At their own 47. Good protection again.
Just wide open, Quez Watkins.
Touchdown.
Beautiful. It's something we've been asking for. I've been saying Quez Watkins season, and he showed it right there, wide open.
There. Bynum,
and the Vikings, they just lost him because they're trying to cover 2 other guys, and easy touchdown.
My biggest thing with Jalen Hurts on that play was something that we didn't see a lot of last year. Jalen Hurts fled the pocket early. On a play like that, he's leaving the pocket and he's breaking it for a 6-7 yard run and missed a lot of those deep balls. But something I've seen, especially this week, is his patience. His poise is there that wasn't there last year. And that was the biggest thing. Everything Jalen Hurts was lacking these past seasons was all things you can improve upon. It wasn't like the intangibles that you can't teach. It wasn't the unteachable things. It was the things that you can get better at. And he worked hard all season, and he clearly, so far at this point, has gotten better at. Now, I know especially me, is extremely hyped, extremely pleased with this performance as somebody who's been backing Jalen Hurts for 2 years now. It is only week 2, but we've only had 2 weeks to look off of. And how many quarterbacks have been playing better than Jalen Hurts through the first 2 weeks?
I mean, that first game, I think you're overrating it a little bit.
I thought he played great in that game.
He played well in that game. I wouldn't say he played great. He threw to one side of the field the whole time. Yeah, I know the stats. The stats look good, right? The stats
it was also week 1. Like, that's what people.
It was week 1. Yeah. And I'm not going to say, he's not the franchise quarterback as a week 1, but
he won the game well.
He won the game. He looked completely different this game. He was looking to all sides of the field. He threw to Devontae Smith. He threw to Dallas Goedert. He threw to Quez Watkins. Yeah, I know A.J. Brown was open every play. That's fine.
I think the Eagles' game plan in week 1 was to feed A.J. Brown. I think that was a big game plan because they knew what they had. They wanted to see how the connection worked. It's what they needed to work on. Giants. It's what they needed to work on.
Get the fuck out of here. Come on. The Eagles just beat one of the best teams in the NFC. Blew them the fuck out.
Down.
I don't want to hear about the damn Giants.
Actually, Baker Mayfield beat himself, but no, back to my point. So that's a lot of it was week 1 growing pains. I knew this week they were going to come out. This was going to be a big test. It was a big team in prime time. He was going to have to look throughout the whole field. He was going to have to show his entire skill set, and it was absolutely on display last night.
Yeah, and then you go the other way around, and you see the quarterback from the other side.
Passes interception, end zone pick. Passes
What the fuck are you
intercepted by
doing, Kirk
Slay. A
Cousins?
flag is down
Darius Slay.
at the 25.
Well, absolutely.
For now, it's a takeaway for Philadelphia.
That was a bad route run by Justin Jefferson, which you don't see very often. He didn't come in like he was supposed to. And usually you can get away with that because the corners were tailing you. But Darius Slay read that play, read that route, clearly watched his film, clearly used all of his veteran experience on that play to know that, dude, you're a moron. You are an idiot.
Play fucking Baker Mayfield.
You are a clown. Darius Slay made that. It was a mixture of Justin Jefferson not running his route correctly and Darius Slay just being smart. He knew what was supposed to be ran. He knew where Kirk Cousins was going to throw the ball. And he just made a play on it. And, Darius Slay locked down the top 2 receiver in football, top 3 receiver in football. Completely locked him down. Did not have a single catch on Darius Slay.
We talked about how good that Jalen Hurts was yesterday. Darius Slay was better. Darius Slay was the best player on the field. And he had 2 interceptions, but really he should have had 4 or 5. Like he locked down Justin Jefferson. Locked him. Like I thought, I'm like, okay, I didn't think Justin Jefferson was gonna kill us. But I'm like he's gonna have 75 yards, touchdown.
Have a good game. But I didn't think he was gonna put on performance like he just did against Jair Alexander.
Yeah.
Literally,
exactly.
outside of Jalen Ramsey, who is better than Darius Slay? Because I don't know if I can. Bro, you're like 12. Like, go back to do your math homework. Nobody cares. You clearly don't know. You clearly didn't watch the game or don't know what you're talking about. Stop. The best receiver in football, how do you think the ball gets thrown back? Because he's locked up. Why do you think he didn't have catches? It's Justin Jefferson.
And Justin Jefferson looks like he was quitting on routes last night.
Exactly. Because he was locked up because he was frustrated because Darius Slay was in his head and he couldn't run his full routes. He couldn't get open.
You know what Justin Jefferson looked like to me last night? He looked like Stephon Diggs at the end of his time with the Vikings.
You know who he looked like? That guy in the corner, Jalen Reagor.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. He didn't look that bad. He did not.
Oh, there's a curse. There is a Reagor curse. I'm convinced of it. They dropped like 5 or 6 balls last night. Jalen Reagor curse. And Jalen Reagor dropped one of them too.
Dude, I can't wait.
I was celebrating after that.
Whatever your name is, I can't wait till the Eagles play the Giants and absolutely obliterate them.
Oh yeah, I mean the Giants are going to luck their way in a few wins this year. They may even sneak in the playoffs. But
listen, the Giants had a good win week 1, and they had you know what? All props to them. They took care of business in week 2, and the Giants looked better than I anticipated. But this Eagles team is a upper echelon team in the league. I don't know what else they need to fucking prove because they made the playoffs last year. Got better and have been just dominated the Vikings, who beat the back-to-back MVP. Oh, he's talking about the Giants. He's talking about the Giants.
Oh, okay.
I honestly, I don't know yet. I don't know.
I hope it's the Giants because
I do too.
Honestly, the way the Eagles played last night, they play like that. The only team that can beat them is the Bills.
Yeah, they literally looked like the second best team in football. All right, I'm not even.
Dude, Cooper Rush is literally better than Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Literally better than Daniel Jones.
Literally. Dude. Daniel Jones' job each week is don't blow the game. Don't call
Daniel Jones, please don't turn the ball over 3 times.
Yeah. The only quarterback who might be worse than Daniel Jones is Baker Mayfield. Eagles, Bills, Super Bowl bookend. I said Eagles, Chargers. I said before the season Eagles would win the whole thing, but
the Chargers don't look as good as I thought they would.
What?
I'm not gonna lie.
Chargers, the Chargers kind of just took care of business in week 1, and then week 2, they just got beat by a good team. I would say Bills, Chiefs, Chargers are really the realistic 3.
Yeah.
In the NFC,
but where are they at? they're in the AFC. The Eagles have a pretty wide open path there
I
if
would
they
say
want to
Bucks,
do
I
this.
think the Rams will figure it out.
Yeah, the Rams, and they're still good teams,
Yeah.
but
No,
it doesn't feel like there's a powerhouse. Like the Rams last year felt like a powerhouse. This year they don't.
yeah, no,
They're
it
just a
literally
different team.
it literally feels like it's anybody's game in the
Yeah.
NFC.
And really, why not us? If Jalen Hurts plays like that, why not us?
Okay, let's put it this way. I did this thing last year we don't do the exact same, but last year on my show, each week I ranked MVP candidates from week 1, like after week 2, through the first 2 weeks, outside of Josh Allen and maybe Lamar Jackson. Who has put up that much of an MVP like performance?
Yeah, and I went through and did like a little bit of projections myself and went through the stats. If he goes through 17 games playing like he did the last 2 games, he's at nearly 5,900 yards combined. Almost 1,300 rushing yards for a quarterback. That's an MVP.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't want to compare it to Ohtani, but like you have a guy rush for top 5 in the league and throw for top 5 in the league. That's kind of like Ohtani.
I would say, I mean, we already knew that he was the second best running quarterback in the league outside of Lamar. Lamar's is a better running quarterback. I'm not going to deny that. I think that there's time. I think Jalen Hurts his moves may be a little bit better, but he's not as quick as Lamar. You know, Lamar still's moves are out of this world, but I'm not going to sit here and act like Lamar's but you know what? They're damn close in passing. They are damn close in passing right now. And I think that they're very close. They are very close. I think
this is the first, like, I know you keep saying you think Jalen Hurts is getting better since the first year. I truly haven't seen that too much until last night. Last night, he looked like a completely different quarterback than we've seen, period. Even like that throw he made, that one throw that Goddard dropped that got knocked away or whatever, that was a perfect throw in a triple coverage. Like, that's not a throw he made last year. He's anticipating receivers now. It's not what he did last year.
I understand. I understand, it's week 2, but all we have to base off of really is week 2. And I guess last year, maybe, but the big thing about Jalen Hurts is how will he be better now with all these weapons? With the offense still having the best, because he did get better towards the end of last year, and he clearly has gotten better so far. Oh my God, dude. Bro, you literally
just said you watched the game last night.
Like, people don't understand.
And I'm not one to like freak out about things and like say this team is super good. But I saw what the Vikings did against the Packers week 1. The Packers, a team that just went to they go to the NFC Championship game last year?
No, they lost in the they lost in the second round.
But still, Packers have Aaron Rodgers, very good team.
Yeah.
The Vikings blew their fucking doors off.
Yeah, and we
Eagles just blew the doors off of the Vikings.
Yes.
Like I said, if they play like they did last night, will it happen? Most likely not.
Okay. It's almost humanly impossible to put up that type of game every week. But I do think that we're going to see solid performances week in and week out from this team. Like, this is exactly how I've seen teams that have won the Super Bowl in the past, including when the year we won the Super Bowl, get treated after week 2. They played well. Oh, it's only week 2. Oh, you guys are delusional. It wasn't just the Eagles.
Yeah, but what else are we going to base it on?
It's week 2, not week 1.
Like, yeah, I get it's 1 week, but they also won the week before.
Exactly.
You based on the rest of the league. The Eagles right now, the way they're playing, are a top 5 league in the NFL or a top 5 team in the NFL.
There are 600.
Is that going to happen throughout the whole year? I don't think so.
And let's put it this way: the team that they beat last week just went out there and put up a great performance against Washington. Like, we're gonna come back here, and I know it's gonna happen. Eagles are gonna win it. Probably Washington's gonna keep it a lot closer than they should be this week. Nobody says.
When the fuck did I say they were going to win the Super Bowl?
I have said it. I'll say I have said it.
Well, but you doing your fucking TikToks, and it's bullshit. like we know the Eagles aren't as good as the Bills. Anybody who watched Josh Allen last night knows nobody.
But let's look at this. Here's the thing about football compared to other sports. There are probably to get to the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl, you have to be a top 6-7 team in the league. 99% of the time, you have to be a top 6-7 team in the league. You do not have to be the top 1 or 2 to win the Super Bowl. You do not have to be a top 1 or like. That's the great thing about football is just the way the schedule's set up, the way the sport is, the way the playoffs are. You don't have to be the best team to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I still think the Eagles in 2017 weren't that great of a team.
No, I thought they were the second best team. I thought that Patriots team was better. But you know what? That was a kind of a weird year because how many times do you see the 2-1 seeds in the Super Bowl?
Never.
Like, not very often. It's usually a 1 or 2, 1-3.
But the Eagles didn't even feel like a 1 seed that year either.
They had the second worst odds to win the Super Bowl out of all the playoff teams.
Yeah. Just crazy.
You know what? But in reality that year, the 2 best teams in the league that year, the Eagles and the Patriots went to the Super Bowl, and the Eagles won. Right now, you cannot look me in the eyes and say that there are more than 5 or 6 teams that are better than the Eagles. Even then, I think it's a stretch. Right now, I have the Bills, the Chiefs at 1-2. I don't think you can really argue Bills Chiefs 1-2. Then you can go Bucks or Eagles. I would like to. I'm gonna, because I'm an Eagles fan. Obviously, let's not act like that doesn't play a factor in anybody's opinion.
Oh, and definitely factors in yours.
Shut up. And because I've seen a little bit more out of both the Eagles offensively and defensively than I've seen out of the Bucks. The Bucks offense did not look good last week.
Yeah, I still can't go.
I'm gonna put the Bucks ahead just because they've proved it more than this team has in past years. But I mean, the Chargers, they look good against the Raiders. They didn't look amazing. They looked solid against the Chiefs. They lost and didn't look great.
Yeah, Eagles Chargers. I would like put 4A 4B kind of because they're close.
Yeah,
what record did he break?
Point.
Most ankles.
Eagles are a top 7 team in the league right now. Top 6-7. You cannot, and through the first 2 weeks, that is undeniable. There is no denying.
Yeah.
And that's all.
And then also, when you have a quarterback who can do this.
Hurts keeps.
Fuck you guys. Right there. Incredible.
No, they're not. Okay, let me put this out there with the Giants. The Giants won 2 nail-biting games against 2 bad teams. Teams that are not good. Teams that aren't good. What happened to the Titans the very next week? They got destroyed by the Bills, 41-7. The Panthers lost to the Browns with Jacoby Brissett. If the Giants beat the Cowboys this week, I will give them more credit. But the Giants
played terrible because he was clamped up the whole game. He was getting rushed up the middle by Cox. He had Sweat coming around the outside, Reddick coming around the other side. You had the defense was completely lock up. Adam Thielen had 2 catches? Yeah, and KJ Osborne had 1 catch. Everybody was clamping them up.
Yeah. Why do you think do people don't understand? Part of the reason a quarterback plays bad is because the fact that their receivers aren't getting open. Do you notice how what happened? What was the difference? One of the big difference for the Vikings offense the first week to this week? Justin Jefferson was the best receiver in week 1. Yeah. And the only time Justin Jefferson was open is when Darius Slay was not on him. It could have been man. It could have been zone. Darius Slay was all over. And I don't want to hear Kirk Cousins made underthrows. The first pick, Justin Jefferson was locked up all the way and tried to and change his route in the middle of the play and go outside. And Kirk Cousins didn't missed it. And Darius Slay knew what route was coming and jumped it. Even if he would have thrown it right to Justin Jefferson, that pass would have been a breakup. Darius Slay was in the perfect position. The very next one, Darius Slay's all over him. He tries to go into the top. He cuts him off.
And seriously, Darius Slay should have 4 interceptions at least in that game.
Yeah.
He was that good. And Avonte Maddox, that was an insane interception he had too.
Yeah. My biggest I'll say this. I do have one concern with the Eagles, and that's their discipline. They seem very undisciplined at times.
Yeah, those penalties on offense, the
That's the
illegal
one.
man downfield shit, that's got to stop.
That is the one thing, and I know it's hard, and I know it can be a little bit harder when you have somebody like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, or Kyler Murray, especially like somewhat early on because you don't know necessarily like the RPOs. You don't always know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
So
and it's week 2.
It is slightly on Jalen Hurts too. That is one thing. It's slightly on Jalen Hurts to notice that if on an RPO you got to get that ball out quick because they are run blocking for you or the running back. You have to get that ball out quick if you are going to throw it. And if you can't, make something happen with your legs or just throw it away. So that is the one thing that I will say about Jalen Hurts. But that pass to Gainwell, I'm a little iffy on. I don't think it was his best ball he's thrown. But
he did have to get it over to the linebacker.
He had to get it over the linebacker. I just feel like he should have put a little bit more sauce on it. Well, it's not, but
it's okay. He's a little special.
Yeah. You got to get you. And I was a little high, a little soft. Probably I wouldn't have. I don't know. It's tough. But those are the only real things that you can say. He hasn't made a lot of he hasn't thrown any other picks. Am I wrong?
No, I didn't throw any picks week 1. And really, there wasn't anything. It's like, oh, that should have been picked.
Exactly.
There was the one in week 1 that Tracy Walker was picked off.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's put it this way. All seriousness, he's not a top 7, 8, 9 quarterback. So we can't expect we're not asking him to be out here be the best quarterback in the world. We're asking him to run the offense, and that is exactly what he has done up to this point. He has run the offense.
Yeah. And he's not he hasn't been just a game manager. He's been more than that.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly, and that's the thing. He is better than through the first 2 weeks. He has been better than what the Eagles needed from him.
Yes, week 1 is about what the least he can do. I think he could have been better in week 1.
Oh no, I think absolutely. I'm not saying that. I think he still played good in week 1.
But yesterday, that's his peak. That is if you can get that out of Jalen Hurts every single game, he's the MVP of the league. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
D-Law is cooked.
I don't know. I think the Cowboys-Giants game is going to be good. I think if Dak was there, the Cowboys would destroy him.
I think it's really all going to depend on if it's going to be a good Saquon game or not.
That, and it depends on how – I think it's going to be also if we get Cooper Rush, if Cooper Rush plays –
is Cooper Rush – is it – no, it's in New York, so they don't get their home calls.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very interested to see, and you know what? Listen, and I'll say this about Giants. The Giants, they've taken the teams on their schedule and they beat them. All props to them. That's how you make the playoffs. That's how you get better as a team. I'm not sitting here saying the Giants are completely overrated or whatever, but there's a difference. To put a team on that upper tier, to move them up to a contender, you got to beat good teams. And the last year, the Eagles weren't a contender. If the Giants make the playoffs, I'm not going to sit here and say the Giants got lucky or that the Giants don't deserve to be there. I will say that the Giants played the teams on their schedules and beat them. And that is all you can do. That's why the bad teams from past seasons get the easier schedules because it creates parity and allows that type of stuff. So,
yeah, Dak is out and Cooper Rush is still better than Daniel Jones.
I'm not sitting here hating on the Giants from a perspective of I don't think that they deserve to be 2-0. I think they won out there and they play tough. They play 2 tough games on teams that are around their level, and they beat them.
Well, yeah, I mean, and Jizzle came on the podcast yesterday and was going through the schedule, and he's right. They have a pretty easy path to the playoffs.
Yeah, they haven't either. Yeah, no,
that's what you do when you get the last place schedule. There's a very good chance.
I mean, we can go. I mean, I'll look at it right now where I see the Giants.
I think Cole just died.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
I think we lost connection for a second.
I think we're good.
All right, but looking at, I mean, the Giants definitely can be a playoff caliber team. I really am low on Washington more than anything.
Carson Wentz is done.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to admit that too. But he just, and it's not all his fault. But at this point, he's just is what he is. He's a middle of the road quarterback who throws too many interceptions. He tries to play hero ball too much still. That's his problem.
Like, Giants around 9-8, 8-9. They can definitely it's those divisional matchups. They can definitely.
I still don't think the Cowboys are that good. I just don't.
No, I really, I don't think the Cowboys aren't that good because they don't have the talent. I think the Cowboys aren't that good because the injuries and they're so poorly coached. They're so poorly coached.
The Giants are that team that, or the Cowboys are that team that 1 week like they shut a team down, and then the next week it's just domination for the other team. I don't know if the Giants are going to score 30 points, but they're going to get scored 30 on them. Because I mean, I still don't think Trayvon Diggs is that good. Like, I watch him in coverage, he gets burnt all the time. Michael Parsons is probably the best edge rusher in the league. I don't think there's too much debating that. But besides that, they don't have much on that defense at all.
I was thinking the other day, and I'm not even going to complain because I love the state of this team right now. But the Eagles could, what guys the Eagles could have on their team right now? They could have both Michael Parsons and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
They could have both those guys.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, they could, like, and for the Cowboys, they have an easier second half of the schedule. So, they still have a shot. I think them and the Giants are going to both be around 10-7 to 8-9, 7-10, that range. I think a game like this is what you're going to look back on later in the season and be like, oh, they should have had this one. So they both got to win. I think that this is the Eagles' division to lose, though.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles, they got through their first tough test. I think their next one will be Arizona, then Pittsburgh. But they could very well have a cruise to being about 10-0 just because they have such an easy first part of the schedule.
I'm a little worried about the Washington game because I feel like it's almost like a trap game.
You know what? I was thinking that too. That very well could be, and I could see the Giants. Oh, Jesus Christ, kid.
Yeah, yo, kid, you're a fucking idiot. There's 17 games in a season now.
God, dude. Yeah. Dude, I used to do the same stuff when I was his age, though.
I know he's just a troll. Like
the
Giants had 2 good games for the first time in 5 years, and he wanted to come on and talk shit.
Yeah, for real. But I know what you mean. That very well could be a trap game because. The Eagles are coming off a big win. They're going to have the Jaguars who've shown that they're a solid team. They're going to have the Cardinals who somehow won that game against the Raiders coming up.
Kyler Murray sucks.
Dude, some of those plays he made on that game, oh my God. He must not have.
Yeah, the fucking defense somehow can't sack him. Like, Jesus Christ, take his ass down.
You want to know something? I had 2 different parlays this weekend. Both of them came down to the last leg. Guess what games they were? I needed the Ravens money line for one, and I needed the Raiders money line for the other.
Get fucked.
Both of them blew it.
I think I was like Kirk Cousins, like 30 yards more from winning a huge parlay.
Really?
Yeah. I had the over on his yards. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get that easily because the Eagles defense was fucking trash last week. Oh, here we go. The little kid is now talking shit.
Oh, nice, buddy.
See, when you start like going on people's physical appearances, when he has some like shitty hockey player in his profile picture,
I don't get that stuff because I don't know if it's just me because I'm so confident in myself, that I do not care whatsoever.
I don't care. He's just a pussy.
I don't even it's just funny to me. I know,
he's just upset because he knows he's getting absolutely
Hey, Rice, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry that you think either Cahtah or I look like a gremlin. I don't know which one of us. If you could elaborate on that, actually. On which one of us looks like a gremlin?
Probably both of us. He's gonna say both.
Dude. Does he have an older sister?
He probably fucked her as long as she's in a relationship.
Yo, chill with that. We're done. This show's over. This show's over.
Hold on. We got one more. We got one more clip.
Yeah, they were trying to sub for Darius Slay. They were coming in to take his place. And he waves them off before that last play when he intercepted it and just said, no, I'm staying out here on the field. He wasn't threatened by Jefferson going past him.
Get fucked.
He made a good. I mean, he made a good play in there. That one more than the first one was, that one more than the first one was definitely on Kirk Cousins. But I think both
larger than your dick.
Bro, come on. More on Kirk Cousins than anything, but you know, it is what it is. Great play.
Sucks.
Go Birds. We'll be back Thursday for Pick'em, bro. Thursday again.
Oh yeah. Where'd you go this week? We both went 9-7, right?
We both went 9-7, and Ella went 7-9. So let me do the math. Actually, where's my pen? Oh, there it is.
Wow, Cole doing math
on what our total
is more than he does in any of his classes.
Shut up. I am 17, 14, and 1. You are.
I'm not over 500 yet. I'm
15,
still
16, and 1.
I'm close. I'm almost at 500.
And Ella is 15, 16, and 1. And Chris,
I'm not in last place.
Do you just want to put Chris at 500, 8 and 8?
Yeah. I want to put.
We got his picks for next week. So 13. Wait, what? No, my math. Sorry. 17. 14 and 1. So me and Chris are tied at 17, 14 and 1. And first, Cahtah and Ella are sitting in third and fourth at 15, 16 and 1. And also, Cahtah, you were diagnosed as the gremlin. It wasn't me.
That's all right. It's because he knows I got clout.
Yep. Honestly. Yeah, don't come to me for clout. I'm not the guy for clout.
No. You're getting up there, though. Almost 900 followers on TikTok.
We're like 6 away, then we're going to be hitting 1,000. Once you hit 1,000, it's just...
Once you hit 1,000, you probably go down in followers because that's what happened to me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to hit 1,000, and we're going to have a lot more fun because we're going to be able to live stream together on TikTok, which obviously it's a lot easier just to pick up your phone and live stream on TikTok. We're a little bit bigger on TikTok, but good show, man. Good show.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you boys next time.
Go
Birds.